Hey, welcome to another episode of McRae Center Broadcasting. I'm Darius Melbine, and today we're going to talk about some Lee's McRae athletics, along with the big topic of Tom Brady and should he get MVP this year. So hopefully this will be a really exciting video. I think it's going to be really fun, and also I just wanted to say thank you for your support, and also we would love for you to comment below and tell us what you would love for us to talk about. So we're just going to start off the show with Lee's McRae Athletics and women's soccer. So women's soccer currently are 6-11, 6-5 in conference. They have 17 goals for 17 games and are in 4th place. They actually played October 26th and they beat King 4-0. They played a really, really good game. I was there and everybody played well. And here's a recap for it. After scoring 3 goals in its first 5 games of October, the Lee's McRae College women's soccer team's offense came alive in a big way with 4 second-half goals to knock off the conference rival King University, 4-0. Lena Langell and Cheyenne Ward both tailed the goal and assist in the win. Langell assisted the team's first goal from Timber Powell in the 59th minute and scored one of her own in the 71st minute. Langell's goal was assisted by Ward. She scored her own goal at 75 minutes and 56 seconds from Emma McGovern, and Kennedy Massey scored the other goal for LMC. Goalkeeper Alexis Feely picked up her 6th win on the season during the game and made 4 stops in the win. It marked the 6th shutout this season for Feely. Feely now is alone in 8th place on the program's list for career shutouts with 11. So as you can see, they played really, really well. They played together. And like I said, it was really, really exciting, and I really enjoyed that game. And then and here's a recap for the next game. They actually played October 29th this weekend, actually, and they lost to Emmanuel 1-0, unfortunately. And here's a recap for this. Emmanuel's College Jesse Denny scored in the 70th minute to spoil senior day for Lee's McRae's women's soccer team Saturday, 1-0. The loss concludes the regular season for the Bobcats, and they finished with a record of 6-11-0. So that means they won 6 games, lost 11, and there was no ties. Overall, they're 6-5 in conference play. Lee's McRae largely outplayed the Lions most of the day, topping them in shots on goal, 26, and corner kicks 4-0. Seniors Lena Langell and Cheyenne Ward led the way for the Bobcat offense with 7 and 4 shots on goal, respectively. The Bobcats have earned the number 4 seed in the Conference Carolinas women's soccer team tournament by virtue of finishing in the top 4. LMC will host a quarterfinal match on Tuesday, November 1st against 5th-seeded Barton at 7 p.m. And so that just tells you that Lee's McRae, unfortunately they lost, but hey, they have a chance to do really well in the tournament. They get to host the first game, so let's wish them luck. And actually, I'm going to list a little bit of the goals for the team. Langell and Ward, they have 4 goals each for the season. Barcel, Katie Jo, Massey have 2 goals each. Anki, Esposito, and Powell have 1 goal each. So let's just wish them luck and wish them the best. And let's switch gears to men's soccer. The soccer team for the men's they're 4-12, 4-6 in conference. They have 28 goals in 16 games and are in 5th place. They played October 26th and actually beat King 6-2, and that was a phenomenal game as well. Everybody, it seemed like everybody scored. They pretty much dominated King. It was very exciting to watch. It was electrifying. And I can't really complain about any negative mistakes for the Bobcats. But here's a recap for it. The Lee's McRae College men's soccer team scored a season-high 6 goals to snap a 4-game losing skid against King University 6-2. The 6 goals scored by the Bobcats is the most for the team in the game since they scored 7 against St. Andrews on October 23rd, 2010. So that tells you they broke history this day. So that tells you how unique and special that day was. The Tornadoes scored the first and last goals of the game, but in between it was all Bobcats. 7 different players notched at least 1 point, and 4 had multi-point games. Thomas Dealey scored 2 of the team's 6 goals to give him a team-leading 9 on the season, while Paul Vassar, Taylor Gray, and Nathan Watt all put forth a goal and an assist. James Morgan scored the Bobcats' other goal, and that net finder came in the 18th minute. And Tyler Pavlik got the win in the net for Lee's McRae, making 6 saves in 8 attempts. So that was a good game for Tyler Pavitt as well. And let me tell you, he's a very, very good goalie. He has a lot of promise, and he's going to definitely do good next year. Also, the Bobcats played the 29th as well against Emmanuel. They unfortunately lost 4-2. And here's a recap for it. Lees McRae's men's soccer player Thomas Dealey scored a pair of goals, but it wasn't enough as the men's soccer team fell to Emmanuel in its home finale 4-2. Lees McRae put on quite a bit of pressure on Emmanuel's defense, totaling 21 shots compared to just 9 for the Lions. Dealey led the way for the Bobcats with those 2 goals. Paul Vassar, Nathan Watt, and Taylor Gray all total assists in the contest as well. By virtue of the results around the league Saturday, the Bobcats have earned the number 5 seed in the Conference Carolinas men's soccer tournament. The Bobcats will travel to number 4 seed Erskine October 31st. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. So unfortunately they lost, but hey, they have a chance to do well just like the women's soccer team, so let's wish them luck. And actually for the goals, Dealey leads the team with 11 goals for the season. Vassar has 7 goals. Jesperson has 3. And Gray, Morgan, and White has 2 each. And Fry has 1. So, like I said, let's wish the men's soccer team a little bit of luck. And hopefully they do what they need to do. And let's switch gears a little bit from soccer to volleyball. And the women's volleyball team, they actually played the 28th and the 29th. And right now the record is 10-16, 6-8 in conference, and tied for 7th. So here's a recap for October 28th. They played Mount Olive and beat them 3-0. And here's the recap. The Lees McRae College women's volleyball team picked up its 2nd straight sweep as it knocked off Mount Olive 3-0. Won the first set 25-19, second set 25-20, and third set 25-18. The victory marked LMC's 10th of the season. Set 1, Jonah Lee's Cote superheaded LMC's defense, which held Mount Olive to a .097 hitting average en route to a 25-19 set victory. Cote had 8 of her 10 digs in the opening frame. Offensively, Lexi Zangari led the way for the Bobcats with 4 kills on 11 attempts. Zangari finished the match with 10 high, 9 kills in the contest. For set 2, the Trojans struggled a little bit with attack errors in the second with 9 in the frame. Mount Olive's offensive troubles were causing a part because of LMC's work on the block, as it totaled 14 blocks in stanza. Haley Leonard tallied 3 blocks assists to go along with 4 of her 7 kills in the second to help give the Bobcats a 25-20 win in the second set. For set 3, Lees McRae put together its best offensive set in the match as it hit a .289 as the team with 15 kills on 38 attempts. 4 different players for LMC had at least 3 kills, including Zangari, who led the team with 4. Madison Martin paced the Bobcats defense and frame with 7 digs in the final set. And that's a little bit of the recap for Mount Olive. So, fortunately, the Bobcats got the win, and that's good. Here's a recap for October 29th. Unfortunately, they lost to Barton, but Barton is very, very good. They're first in Conference Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So here's a recap on Barton's game. After winning 2 straight matches for Lees McRae College, the women's volleyball team fell to Barton 25-14, 25-13, to 25-11. The loss drops LMC's record to 10-16 overall and 6-8 in conference play. For set 1, the Bobcats started the first set well, scoring the first 2 points in the frame. Unfortunately, LMC could not keep up the pressure on the Bulldogs as they scored 7 of the next 9 points to not only to take the lead, but also to take the momentum as well. The shift was enough for Barton to take the first set 25-14. For set 2, LMC was neck and neck with the Bulldogs as it trailed by just 2 points. 14-12. Barton, however, went on a 11-1 run to close out the Bobcats 25-13. So that must have been a very, it was probably a mental breakdown of whatnot, but at least it was neck and neck for most of the match. For set 3, another large run by the Barton proved to be the undoing for Lees McRae in the third, as it went on a 7-0 run to grow a 5-point lead, 13-8 to 12 points, 20-8, and then the large run by the Bulldogs was more than enough to finish off the set and match 25-11. Next up, the Bobcats will close out the regular season next weekend when they take on Erskine on the road Friday. First serve is set for 7 p.m. So let's wish the Bobcats luck. If they win, I know they can get a chance in the conference tournament. So let's wish all these teams luck: women's soccer, men's soccer as well, and women's volleyball. So let's switch gears a little bit to Tom Brady. I know it's been a hot topic on ESPN and in the sports world. Basically, the argument is, should Tom Brady get MVP considering he missed his first 4 games? So that means he will only play 75% of his games. Some people say he could get MVP if he plays well, and some people say he shouldn't because if you only play 75% of the games, you can't qualify. So my argument is, I definitely think he should get MVP. I mean, he's number 1 QBR right now. His rating is 132.6. QBR rating is 92.9. He's only played 3 games this season, which he's thrown for 1,000 yards, has 8 touchdowns. He's completed 75% of his passes, so I mean that tells you how efficient he is. So if he continues to do what he's doing, he'll be on road to throw 4,000 yards with 32 touchdowns. And if he can keep his QBR rating and everything, pretty, I guess, stable and efficient and keep it on a level playing field, and he keeps his rating around probably, I guess you could say, high 80s to low 90s, there's no reason in my mind or no doubt that he can't get MVP. I mean, the number says it all. Like, if you're doing well and you're playing well and your team is going undefeated or it goes undefeated with him, why not? I mean, or even if they lost 1 game with him. I mean, if he has the numbers and they're doing really well and they have the first seed in the league or the AFC, why not? That's silly to me. And actually, against the Bills this weekend, he He went 22 for 33 in passing, threw 315 yards, and had 4 touchdowns. So that just tells you how much of a beast he is. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and there's no doubt in my mind that if he does what he needs to do, he won't be getting MVP. I think he should if he does what he needs to do. For the career, he's thrown over 59,000 yards. He has 436 touchdowns. He's completed 63% of his passes and has an overall rating of 96.8. So he's the man. He's the man, basically. So I really don't know what else to argue right now. But honestly, I mean, that's like arguing. If you was to try to switch it up to basketball, that's like arguing Damian Lillard and LeBron. Let's say Damian Lillard plays the whole season. He averages 25 points a game. He averages 5 assists a game and 5 rebounds a game. But he plays the whole game. But his team is 3rd in the Western Conference. In the Western Conference. But you have LeBron over here in the Eastern Conference. He's averaging 30. He's averaging 10 rebounds and 10 assists. And he may have not played all the games. He might have missed 25% of the games. Like some people say, they don't like the whole only playing 75% and getting MVP. So he only plays 75% of the games. But the Cavs are first in the conference. Why would you not give it to LeBron? Clearly they're the best team in the conference. Clearly, LeBron is the better specimen. He's averaging more points, more rebounds, and assists. Why would you not give it to LeBron? I mean, that makes no sense to me. I mean, for real. And then there's a lot of people that's saying that Tom Brady shouldn't get MVP because he's on a juggernaut team. They're saying his team is really good. And what kind of sense does that make? I mean, it's not his fault his team is good, but he's a beast as well. And I make the argument that, what about Stephen Curry? His team has been basically the best team in the league. Last year had the best record ever. I mean, and he was clearly the best player on the team, owned the best team. So why did he get MVP, but you're trying to say Tom Brady can't? That makes no sense to me. And Stephen Curry got MVP 2 years in a row, and his teams were the best 2 years in a row. Unfortunately, they lost in the finals to LeBron, but in the regular season, of course, they were the best team. So it makes no sense. If you're the best player, if you're the best player and you own the best team, there's no reason why you can't get MVP. It's a little bit different if you're the best player but you're on the worst team and they're not doing well, because it's kind of hard to give it to somebody if they're not doing good, or the team's not doing good. It's kind of hard to give an MVP to somebody that's in last place. But if you're on the best team and you're doing good, or even if you're in second and you got the best numbers, why not give it to them? That makes no sense to me. But that's my take on the Tom Brady situation. That's my opinion about it. And that's it for today in this episode. So thank you for watching. Like I said, you can comment below. We would love to hear you just your feedback. We would love to hear what you say, what you think about the show, and just to give us a little bit of maybe some suggestions of what y'all would love for us to talk about. I mean, we're all open ears. We'd love to debate some stuff for you and talk about some stuff. So I'll talk to you next time. Stay blessed and stay tuned and have a blessed week. Bye-bye.